We are living truth in eternal iteration. To understand why this is so, you need to understand that the only possible reason for existence at all is that there can only be truths that are existentially incapable of not being true. Without this, there is no reason for or possibility of anything ever coming into being. The logic of this is pure, it is hard, it is inescapable. There are truths that are existentially incapable of ever not being true. When this is properly understood, one understands that a truth that cannot not be true is true in all places and at all times and at all scales. It is true about all things because it is existentially incapable of not being true, not being so. These truths that cannot not be true take up all the room and possibility throughout all of infinite space and for all time. This is what existentially incapable of not being true means. These truths are in full expression, full iteration, everywhere and forever. And there is nothing but these truths, expressing, iterating, everywhere, forever. There's just no room, time or possibility for anything else. We are living truth in eternal iteration. We are eternally conscious because our own iterating cannot help but take into account, which means be affected by, all the eternal truth in iteration within and around us. This is, mechanistically speaking, what consciousness is. We are eternally sensitive because sensitivity and consciousness are pretty much the same thing. Consciousness is awareness, yes? Awareness is sensitivity. So we are truth in iteration, and truth in iteration is aware, it is sensitive. We are eternally in a perpetual, constant state of expansion, literal physical expansion, because our past iterations have become fixed. Whatever truth has iterated is truth that has become fixed. Because when it is true that a thing has happened, a truth has iterated, it remains true forevermore that that event happened. All existence, including us, is in a constant state of expansion because our present iteration is emergent from our past iterations. and we are always accruing more and more past. Because the truth of past iterations is fixed, it has a solid quality that contrasts with the unformed, unfixed future we are expanding into. This is literally how physical matter is formed. Contrasting qualities is literally all that physicality is. And as all existence is truth in iteration, it is the contrast between the rigidity of truths that have already iterated and the potential of a future that is yet to iterate that gives the effect of physical matter. We are living truth in eternal iteration. This human world of ours is the leading edge of our expansion into our future. The earth is our shared past, which we are emergent from, and it pushes us upwards and outwards into the sky, which is our shared future. This is not at all a metaphor. It is our literal physical reality here. The acceleration of the earth beneath our feet is the very thing that causes the effect that we call gravity. This world is a remarkable, beautiful, and surprising place. And it is a place that many of us hate much of the time. Why should this be so? Really, the only thing causing us to have such a tough time here is human culture. Our perpetual expansion means that the resolution in which we experience the world is always increasing. And each time we enter into a higher order of scale of resolution of the field of ourselves, we experience amnesia. You could think of it as being upgraded to new hardware, having a higher resolution operating system, and having to create new memories from scratch because the old ones won't run on this new system. This happens for us as individuals each time we are born into a new body, and it happens for us at the greater scale of the human collective. Human culture as we know it today is a result of us being comparatively new to this world and being amnesiac of who we are, what we are, and the countless times we have done this kind of thing before. If you imagine how it would be if all of the children in this world woke up tomorrow as complete amnesiacs and all of the adults were gone, And then imagine what kind of society these children would then develop as the years went by. This should give you an idea of why it should be so that human culture is so terrible as it is right now. They would form their own religions, and they would develop their own forms of occultism, their own politics, conduct their own tribal wars, and so forth. It's just what happens, basically. Frightened children will tend to hurt and frighten each other. They will form gangs, they will manipulate and deceive, tell stories, betray and blackmail each other, and all of the other unpleasant flavors of behavior that our worldwide human culture is so steeped in, along with the more positive ways of behaving that human beings are good at. We are living truth in eternal iteration. And when we are amnesiac of that eternal truth, we see ourselves as mortal animals, make our choices for ourselves from that perspective, and problem solve for that problem. And so, our human culture today is filled with tales of us being the children of a god, or of multiple gods, or of occult forces, or of blind energetic forces of the cosmos. And all of these tales reflect our fears and insecurities in some way or other. Because to be amnesiac in a world of amnesiacs is a fearful situation to be in. Human history feels like the longest thing to us, but truly all of it only represents our very earliest stages of development. And our transition into our era of enlightenment, our heaven on earth, takes place when our children are arriving here to be told on their first day that they are the eternal, that we all are the eternal, and we are here for each other in that. We teach our children to have love and compassion for themselves, for they are destined and they are doomed, so to speak, to being eternally sensitive, and therefore owe themselves all of their own love and compassion in the face of that. From that self-love and compassion that is born of problem solving for the real and truthful problem, love and compassion naturally extends to everybody else. Once this is happening, the transition into our long-awaited era of enlightenment, our heaven on earth, takes place in only a generation or two. I have a lot of work online that people don't get to see because they are not notified about it. You have to be determined and proactive and check in on my channels and my website if you want to keep up with my work. This platform will let you think that I'm not doing anything when I'm doing lots. And I'd love it if you would catch up with everything I've done so far, if you want to.